Hello, boys and girls. This is your instructor, Mr. Salamanca, talking to you guys from directly from my house. I hope you guys are okay and your families are okay. I know we are definitely in a time of uncertainty, and I know that we are struggling. Probably some of you guys are bored being home, especially not being able to see your classmates and not being able to play or do a lot of stuff that you are used to doing. Let's keep hope. Let's keep faith, as the Pope said last week. We have um, we have a lot of things that we have to be thankful for, and one of the things is that we are in good faith, good health. On my perspective, I was working until last week on the World Trade Center area, which is a little bit scary in some aspect because we're not. That's where the majority of the cases are. But hey, we stay strong and we keep faith. I can tell you right now, I was throughout last week. I was wearing a mask, goggles, hat, and everything I could wear to keep myself from being in contact with a lot of stuff. That's to keep safe, to keep my family out of risk. And literally, what we have in the basement, an area where what I was doing, literally cleansing everything, putting all the clothes in a bag and the shoes in chlorine just to keep everything clean, not to bring anything from outside that could harm my family. And I'm sure your family is going through some of those aspects. So I must ask you guys, like I always do every Sunday. You can imagine me walking back and forth on the classroom, um, telling you guys what have you guys done this week in good effort and good faith. What good deeds have you done this week? It's a little bit hard not to do good deeds to a lot of people as we are used to doing, but we could still do them at home. Every time our parents ask us to do something, we should not relinquish on doing it. Every time that we have a chance to help our little brother, our little sister, anybody, it's the simple fact of saying good morning with a good attitude helps a lot of people cheer up, especially right now when we are literally incarcerated at home. So let's try doing that and keep doing good things. Anyways, today the lesson we are going to talk about is it's about grace and sin. It's important to know the difference and see what's grace is, what and what sin is. Grace is how God receives us, how God accepts us. We need His grace to keep us going, more or less to accept us to accept us going forward and beyond. But you know what? Grace is also like the light shining on the flowers. If you cover them, the flowers will not grow. The same thing happens. Uh, Actually, the book shows us an example, and I'm here to share with you guys. Bear with me 1 minute. I hope to be able to do this real fast. I wasn't successful getting it. Oh, but I did. Good. So, what we have here, it's a little remote control that works with my phone. The reason why I'm showing this is because the book suggests using a car toy, a battery operated car toy, and you guys are way ahead of on technology to actually use that. So I figure I use this. This is a remote control that works very similar to the new gadgets that the phone has with we have a little stylus where you press it and it takes a picture. So this device actually takes a picture as well. Um, what I did is I picked it up in an auction site. Well, what I'm going to do is show you guys is pretty much how it operates. It's not that fancy. It's an electric device, an electronic device. Inside it has a microchip that has also wireless technology, Bluetooth to be exact, that connects to the phone. I had to attach it before, similar to what you guys do with the iPods or your parents do it with the car, so they could talk on the car. But without the battery, it will not work. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the battery in it and proceed and put it back on. And again, it works. So what happens now is um, the way sin and how we lose the grace of sin of God is every time we say a sin is like putting a cover in top of the remote. Geez, it's in there. We know it's in there, and we know what it can do. But can it actually take a picture on the phone? Actually, unless I press real hard, it won't. hold on, something came wrong here. Uh-oh. Let's put this thing back on. Okay, so unless I press real hard, it will not take a picture. So that think of the cover as the sins that we commit. Every time we don't do things that our parents ask us, or every time that we do things wrong, it's actually similar to the shield covering us from the grace of God, similar to putting a cover in front of the plants so the plants don't get the sunshine and then they die. Um, there are many sins as we talk, and you guys should remember because we gave you guys the handout of the Ten Commandments and how our daily activities actually create or make us break some of those commandments. But think of the cover as a benign sin. It's keeping us from seeing the God's grace. But a mortal sin will be literally like taking the battery out, and we will not work. So what could take the battery out and make it not work on our situation? A mortal sin. There's a difference between venial sins and mortal sins. We talked about this some time ago, but the fact that one of the commandments says you shall not kill. There is an actual reference to how our daily or circumstances or activities do make us break that sin, even though it's not going and stabbing or like they show in the movies, killing somebody. No, nothing at all, nothing like that. But it does make us fall into that mortal sin. So that is one example that I could show you. The other example is when you throw a pebble into a river, right? As soon as you throw it, there's ruffles or that create circles and waves move around. So think of the ruffles being the sins, and the sins are keeping us from having God's grace. So that being said, the book also suggests reading from the Bible, and it actually talks about how a little sin cause a mortal sin. And it's the book of Genesis. It's the story about Abel and Cain, and I'll read it to you guys. I hope you guys have the chance to read it as well, but I'll go ahead and read it for you guys. I have my kids' Bible that we were recommended by the CCD group, and it's pretty good. And it says as this: Then Abel slept with his wife, and she became pregnant. She bore a son, and said, "By the Lord's help, I have gotten a son." So she named him Cain. Later she gave birth to another son, Abel. Abel became the shepherd, but Cain was a farmer. After she came sometime, Cain brought some of his harvest and gave it as an offering to the Lord. Then Abel brought the first lamb born to one of his sheep, killed it, and gave it the best parts of it as an offering to the Lord. The Lord was pleased with Abel and his offering, but he rejected Cain and his offering. Cain became furious, and he scowled in anger. So, what does that story tell us? It tells us that very similar to how we do things, Abel picked up his crop, the best of his crop, and just said, "No, I'm going to give it to the Lord," and boom, brought it over to him and an offering. But then Cain said, "Let me go grab my first lamb," and kill it and offer it. And those times those were the offerings that we gave to God. Well, what do you think? Who did the best effort, and why did God favor Abel over Cain? Well, because Abel didn't have any obstacle, any objection on giving the best that he had to God, and Cain did. But Cain became angry, and he also became envious of his brother. And with that that rebel into not only being envious, but he also made him kill his brother, and that's how he created the first mortal sin, and that mortal sin he would never have God's grace because of that. And as the example is, it's a little bit crazy, not crazy, but it's a little bit odd how to explain it. But The fact that he became envious is the fact that made him commit the mortal sin. And that happens a lot in many aspects of how we do things. And again, going back to the handout that we gave on sins, the fact that we don't do things as we are asked creates us to make sin, right? And God, our parents love us very much, very, very much. And they ask us to do something. It's not because they're lazy and they don't want to do it, it's because they need help. We all need help. When you guys were little, everyone, I'm sure every one of you guys, you needed help to walk, and your parents were there to help you walk. They watched you when you were babies, and they help you to grow to where you are right now. They have fed you and given all that. But that's some of us think, oh well, they had to do that. Well, yes, they do have to. We take it our pride to do it, and we love you guys, so we do it. But yes, as they are willing to go beyond even now danger to go to work and feed us, we also have things that we had to do, not because they're paying us to get the feed us, because it's our obligation. It should be part of our normal daily process. We should help our parents, and if it tells take out the garbage, we should not be worried about, oh well, I'm not gonna take out the garbage. I'm gonna get my sneakers dirty? I'm playing basketball. I'm not playing. Or oh, what, my neighbors are gonna see me. Oh, what? Oh, that neighbor across the street is gonna start talking to me, and I don't want her to talk to me. You know what? Who cares about our neighbor? Who cares about our sneakers? They're only the things that we sometimes we emphasize on are things that are so material that have nothing to do with our faith and with our relationship with our parents. And that's something we should always think about. The fact that a lot of nowadays, just about everybody, oh, I gotta take a selfie. Well, that selfie doesn't do much to bring you, or to have a better relationship with your parents, or a better relationship with anybody. And nevertheless, to have God's grace to you. So my comment, my personal point, of course, it's let's focus less on material things and focus more on the spiritual things and things that will help us and also help others. Right now, it's important, and I most implore all of you guys to keep everybody in prayer. Keep everybody that's working out there, all the doctors, the policemen, just about everybody, all the people in the grocery stores that are literally putting their lives at risk, because right now there's the potential of you catching these virus that's going out there. It's a 50-50 chance. Yet they put their because they know that they had to supply others, and also pray for those guys, all those people that actually had to drive out there and feed the homeless, feed the senior citizens, all the senior citizens that cannot see their parents. Imagine you guys not being able to see your parents, or your parents not being able to see you guys right now. Some folks out there are experiencing that. So I must ask you guys to pray, and also don't lose hope. The Pope, they gave us a very nice speech last week where he said, you know what, God is with us, but we just cannot lose hope. If we lose hope, we're losing our faith. I must ask you guys, please keep everybody in prayers, as I will keep you guys in prayer. I will send you guys a couple of questions on the lesson, and I hope you guys have been able to read it and perhaps discuss it with your parents as well. Anyways, I promise and I hope that it's not that next time, if there's a next time, I'll have a better makeup and costume for you guys, so it will be much more professional. But I hope that hopefully next time I'll be able to do the class in front of you guys, and all you guys will be happy, and we'll be able to tell even some of the crazy jokes I tell you guys in the morning. All right. Anyways, it's good to see you guys. I hope you guys are doing okay. I pray for all you guys, and stay in hope and faith. Thank you.